2 weeks ago, I set up OpenClaw to run my 3 companies on a $600 Mac Mini. Now, every morning at 7 a.m., I get my daily brief. I have KPI tracking. It publishes my content while I'm sleeping, and it remembers every decision and conversation that we have and runs a complete to-do list for me and my team. All of that's open source and available to all of you. So let me give you a little bit of background. I have 3 companies: Safety Evolution, Safety Software. I have a company called Adapro, which is a AI first safety services company. And I have my media channel and company that you all are watching now. And a little background on how we got here. In 2023, I started a company called Archeo AI, and we were building agents that did sales, marketing, all of the operational stuff for enterprise before there was even a word for agents. But the technology was so different than compared to now. And it's really exciting to be able to have something like OpenClaw come out open source and be able to install it on a $600 Mac Mini and in 2 weeks build out what took us almost a year to build in Archeo. So what I want to walk through today is all the things that I've built so far and why we're building them, and show you inside what we're actually doing. This is our daily brief that comes into our Slack channel. This comes into me at 7 a.m. every day, and I find it incredibly powerful. As you can see, it's up to date. This is March 11th. We have all of our filming today. So this is all the actual videos that are going to be coming out, as well as my prep, what Linda will be handling for me, trends, overnight reel issue that we had because I didn't put any reels in the folder, which I'm going to show you a little bit later. And then you can see our vector database and everything is healthy here. This is one of the first things that you should be setting up when you're running an AI first system like this. I'm actually going to break down how I set this up and some best practices in another video that's coming. So stay tuned. I want to show you these dashboards were the second thing I set up. They've grown quite a bit since I first started building them 2 weeks ago, but I find that trying to organize multiple companies is super challenging. And I think even one company is super challenging. And that's why I think it's really important to think about these. So this is David Brennan Media. You can see that I actually have all the different companies here set up. I can flip through them really easily. You can see all the data on them. But I want to go in depth on what I actually have on this. So this is set up to auto refresh 4 times a day. So it's going to tell me what's going on. I have my North Star here, which is really important to me because I want to monetize this channel. And I'm tracking that right here. And so when you're setting up KPIs or dashboards like this, it's really important to have the most important thing to the success of what you're doing right here on the first page. So I have that here. I have my top priorities, and then we get into things like analytics. So this analytics system actually is pulling directly from HubSpot, Instagram, YouTube, and gives me this updated every 4 hours throughout the day. This is, I think, is really important, especially for the media side of what we're working on. This gives me the visibility, but because we're pulling these reports, we have the historical breakdown of what's happening in our channel, and we know what's actually performing, our demographics. All this information is here and is able to drive into something that I'm building. I'll share it with you in another video, but I'm building a content management skill that takes all of this information and then helps you build and create meaningful content for your channels and for your customers. So that's why I connected this really early. The next thing that we have in here is a content management piece, and I'm going to show you that pipeline because I think this is really cool and really allowed me to change how I was doing content. The other one that I think is amazing is having a full Kanban style to-do list. This is a whole software in itself, and it's just allows me to manage this across all the different companies. I know what my to-dos are at Safety Evolution. I know what they are at Adapro, and so does Linda. So it allows system to be up to date with what's happening as well. Just so you know, I call my AI Linda. And then I have my agent systems and I've got my ops here. So this I like because it lets me know what I have completed, what we've been working on, and just is a quick way of looking at it. So let's talk about content management. One of the challenges that I always struggled with was, how do I take the reels that I create and edit them, put captions on them, schedule them, and make sure that they're going out in regular basis. And it used to take 4 to 6 hours a week just to manage that. And I didn't really create that much content. That was really quite a lot of work for someone that's running multiple companies. And I think that was probably the reason why I struggled so hard to actually have a meaningful content plan and delivery on my channels. And this being one of my big goals, I built that first. And what it does is it actually takes a piece of content from a file here on the Mac Mini. I film it anywhere I am, on the run, walking, whenever I feel inspired. I film it on my phone and I put it into that reel. And every night at midnight, it runs and it pulls all of those ones that I filmed in the day, processes them, edits them, puts captions on them, creates the hook and the description, and then schedules them out into those channels. And then it will just run daily to put that live for me. And so that's a really incredible lift. And so we're going to create a video on this specifically, how we built it. But think about this, like I don't have to run a Hootsuite or whatever your scheduling software is for content anymore. My OpenClaw does it all for me. I will admit, you should know that it didn't work in the beginning so well. It liked to post things more than were required. There's a few videos that got deleted. They were up 3 or 4 times. But, that's part of building brand new systems and automations. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work the way you think they're going to work. Now that it's locked in and the process is there, it's pretty cool to be able to just throw a video into that folder and know that it's scheduled out. Here's the tech stack that you all will be wanting to look at. Something like a Mac Mini, or if you have an old Mac computer or something like that. I just bought a brand new machine because I wanted a clean ecosystem that I could run it in. I installed OpenClaw because I wanted to have control over my system. I wanted to have an open source. I didn't want to use Claude Cowork because I didn't want to build all my workflows and proprietary information into another software stack so they could lock me in to their pricing. And that is a really important thing for you all to think about as you're doing this, is as these products come out and you see these videos, such and such killed such and such, just remember what you're really trying to do is build a system that endures, that doesn't lock you into somebody else's platform. Because I can promise you, Claude and every other one of them that's a platform like that is going to be optimizing for your spend. And you give it 2 years from now and you'll be paying the same type of fees that you pay to HubSpot and all the other software providers, but more, because they're going to be using the token usage and the software as a cost metric. So just keep that in mind. How we run it, we have Azure as one of our ecosystems for Safety Evolution. So we installed our own Opus 4.6 model in that ecosystem, and we run it through an API. From there, we're able to take advantage of the security and the data privacy rules that they run through their APIs. We have no subscriptions other than our token costs and no cloud, and it runs on my desktop. And that's a pretty cool thing to think about when you're running a company. What does this mean for entrepreneurs? It means that you don't need a team of 10 people to do all of these other tasks because you can automate them. If you have an operating procedure or some sort of written plan for any task that you do in your company, you could more than likely automate it now. If you're an operator, a entrepreneur that's going 24/7 and you're looking for help, follow this channel, start installing these things, follow along, and we'll help you automate out your business and be able to support you along the way. We got a ton of more videos coming out on how these systems work, what you need to know about, and if you subscribe, you get to see them all. Have an amazing day.